all of you that are listening to this discussion. My name is Jan Bloom, and I am speaking to you from Boca Raton, Florida. Now, in this discussion, I have the privilege of interviewing Barbara Schumann, who is an expert in the field of fitness. She is a personal trainer, certified by the American College of Sports Medicine. But beyond that, Barbara spent 10 years in one of the most prestigious age management medical practices in the United States, where very influential people literally flew in from all over the world just to spend a day being evaluated by Barbara and a team of highly credentialed physicians because they were seeking ways to slow down the aging process through nutrition and through lifestyle changes. Now, her past interviews on this topic of age management have been received so incredibly positively. The reviews have been numerous, and I have asked her to spend some more time with us and elaborate further on this topic just because people are hungry for this information. So, Barbara, on that note, I'd like to go ahead and get started and thank you once again for sharing your wisdom with us.
Thank you for inviting me back to continue the discussion on how we can slow the aging process using Unicity's preventive health products. It's very interesting how we commonly speak about preventive health. It's such a catchphrase. I think that sometimes we don't even stop to really think, what does that phrase mean, preventive health? Jan, I know you're the interviewer, but I want to turn the tables on you for a minute. Off the top of your head, what are we attempting to prevent?
Oh, my gosh. It's more like what are we attempting to preserve, and that's life. What we're trying to prevent here is premature death, disease, heart attacks, strokes, diabetes, all these crazy cancers, and then these chronic illnesses that people don't even know where they're coming from. So does that answer your question, what we want to learn about?
That's great. So if we're focused on preventing those diseases, the benefits of prevention is that we don't suffer and we actually get to live longer. And I've been saying for years that Unicity products help us live better and live longer. They truly help us manage the aging process, and some people might say they are anti-aging products. Tonight I want to focus on one of the most popular systems that Unicity has created. It is called the Cleanse. The focus of this three-product system is the elimination of toxins, parasites, and acidic buildup in the colon. I think everyone understands the basic need for this product group. With the typical modern diet, our food is loaded with pesticides and chemicals and hormones found in our food, especially in animal proteins, and our diet is just seriously lacking in fiber.
And knowing that, and people eating all of the things that you just alluded to, I wondered, wouldn't you take a couple minutes and just outline the components of the Unicity Cleanse system and what makes it different than all of the other cleanses that are out there? And there are plenty.
Okay. Well, I've tried other types of cleanses, and I appreciate how effective and unique this program is. One of the cleanses I've tried requires you not to eat for a week. For an active person like me, that's just out of the question. Every day I'm learning about a new or trendy celebrity cleanse, the juice cleanse, these all kinds of interesting things. This is just totally different, and I really want to explain why it's so different. First of all, you add this to your routine, and so you don't have to stop what you're doing. You don't have to fast. I think you're going to be very impressed with what makes it different. I want to start with some research from National Geographic. Their research says that parasites are a very serious problem. They claim that parasites have killed more people than all the wars in history. You can eat a healthy diet and take vitamins, but that's not going to protect you from parasites. You can take 3 showers a day, but that won't protect you from parasites. There's literally a war going on inside our bodies. It sounds like science fiction, but it's not. These are microscopic monsters inside of us. They eat our bodies. They control our emotions, our behavior, and their waste makes us sick. If you're like me and you eat a lot of fresh vegetables and you enjoy sushi, it is certain that you have parasites in your digestive tract. If you have a dog, a cat, or a bird, it's likely you have parasites. If you touch a door handle in public places or walk barefoot in the grass, you have parasites. These parasites make us chronically sick, and we don't even realize it. Our cells are controlled by chemical signals, and parasites emit a chemical signal that directly affects our thoughts, our behavior, our decisions, our urges. They create chronic diseases. If you're tired a lot, it's got chronic itching. You're craving carbs. You've got acne, eczema, chronic coughing, lung problems, joint pain, lumps under the skin, constipation, diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome. And those are just some of the symptoms that come with parasites. This program is specifically formulated to get these parasites and all their eggs and larvae out of your body. So I'll explain the 3 products that are included in this system. The first is called Paraway Plus. It is a patented blend of herbs containing effective antifungal, antimicrobial, and antiparasitic qualities, eliminating harmful and dangerous organisms from our digestive tract. When you wake up in the morning, very first thing, you take these capsules on an empty stomach. Now, this is a 30-day program, so you're going to just follow this program for 30 days. 30 minutes later, after taking those capsules, it's recommended that you drink Life Fiber. This is a soluble and insoluble fiber blend. You mix it with water, or if you're like me, you can throw it into a protein shake. It creates a viscous gel when digested, which easily traps toxins and parasites and waste and gently sweeps it out of your body. Then before bed, you take the third component, Nature's Tea. It's a soothing sweet tea that cleanses the digestive tract with a blend of senna leaf, buckthorn, peppermint, and other time-tested herbs. And in the morning, when you wake up, I like to say you have a beautiful bathroom experience. Now, in the United States, we are lucky in that we have a choice. We can either use Nature's Tea or an aloe vera capsule, which has antimicrobial and laxative qualities that cleanse the colon and the intestines. This is important because the colon is the solid waste management organ for the entire body, and mucus and waste and parasites can easily stick to the colon walls. The colon is really the easiest breeding ground for all these microorganisms, and some of them can be extremely harmful. It is believed that 90% of disease is related in some way to an unhealthy colon. So when we talk about an unhealthy colon, we immediately think about bloating, constipation, gas, and diarrhea. We then think about irritable bowel syndrome and colon cancer. What I want you to consider are other complaints that you might not have connected to what's going on in your colon. Complaints like chronic headaches, skin conditions, exhaustion, joint pain, memory loss, and even bad breath. They can all be associated with a congested colon. You see, when waste backs up, it becomes toxic and then releases the toxins into your bloodstream. When you cleanse your colon, it lightens the toxic load on every part of your body. This is when real healing can occur at the cellular level because all your cells are being fed by your blood. Some of the nutrients that reach your blood get there by way of your colon. So a clogged, dirty colon may mean toxins in your blood. A clean colon can deliver nourishing, nutrient-rich blood. I think that's the simplest description of the value of this cleanse program, Jan.
But, Barb, our topic tonight is to discuss how the cleanse can complement a person's desire to slow down the aging process. So I want, if you don't mind, if you can explain why you think this whole cleansing process is so valuable to that.
Sure. Let me take a few minutes and introduce you to a couple of new ideas so you can get the big picture. Throughout human history, we've been at war with microbes, bacteria, fungus, and viruses. In ancient times, we fought the bubonic plague, smallpox, yellow fever, and typhoid. More recently, our battles have been with malaria, tuberculosis, and AIDS. We thought about the germs and microbes as our enemies. We would say the only good bug is a dead bug. But what we're learning is that this is not always the case. We have good bacteria as well as bad bacteria in our body. Now, the human body has more than 1 trillion cells. Within our body, now imagine we have more than 10 times that number of bacteria cells in our body. These bacteria actually carry their very own genetic material. So you have your own genes when you're born. Scientists believe infants are sterile, meaning free of microbes in the womb, but once a baby passes through the birth canal, it begins to be exposed to microbes. So in the first few weeks of life, babies are exposed to millions of new microbes. The combination of our own genetic material and then the new microbes that have, over time, they multiply hundreds and hundreds of times, we have what we call the human microbiome.
Microbiome? Okay. You always do this to us. You introduce these new words and terms, and we have to remember them, and then we have to be able to spell them. So don't worry about spelling it, but just define what is a microbiome. I have never heard that before.
Okay, well, if you read scientific journals of today, this word is becoming very popular. It's a term that I might describe as the ecological community of microorganisms that inhabit our body space. So it would include bacteria, both good and bad, parasites, fungus, and viruses. It is, you can't see it, but it's the ecology of our body space.
All right. You were talking about infants and babies before, and doctors saying that they're born sterile and, they're so clean. Why are you talking about infants when I'm asking you to talk about aging?
Well, I had to start somewhere.
I know, but you're supposed to stay on track here.
Okay, because I wanted to show that as we age, our bodies take on more and more microorganisms, and more things can go wrong that speed up the aging process. We have 20,000 genes in our body that operate on chemical reactions. Our own genes are impacted by the genes produced by good and bad bacteria throughout our body. See, these bacteria are producing their own genes, and they're interacting with our genes. So every single second, there are 10,000 classes of chemical reactions taking place in our bodies. These chemical reactions are influenced by proteins and enzymes and diet and exercise and sleep and environment. These genes can switch on and they can switch off. They can work beautifully and harmoniously, but they can also get misregulated. And that's when things can go terribly wrong and diseases can occur. And, a simple example that I think everyone is probably familiar with is the concern we have over the use or overuse or improper use of antibiotics that can kill off the beneficial bacteria in our microbiome. The microbiome of our gut or our digestive tract, all the trillions and trillions of bacterial, fungus, and virus, has been characterized as the forgotten organ. It's almost like it's an organ unto itself, this microbiome. The human microbiome is thought to have a role in the increase in allergies, autoimmune diseases like diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, muscular dystrophy, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, celiac disease, and perhaps some cancers. And a poor mix of microbes in the gut play a big role in obesity, since some of the microbes in the human body can impact the production of neurotransmitters. I think I mentioned neurotransmitters in a former call that, like I used an example of serotonin, the happy hormone. Scientists are finding a connection between intestinal health and schizophrenia, depression, bipolar disorder, and other neurochemical imbalances. So if we're not taking control over the growth of bad bacteria and supporting our good bacteria, our body gets terribly out of balance. The genes that are controlling our thinking, our circulation, our glucose, they're all supported by good bacteria in our gut. And what we know is that sugar causes bad bacteria to go wild and to overproduce. The connection between the growth of cancer and the speed of cancer tearing through somebody's body and the sugar intake is all over the news in the last few weeks. Imagine that your digestive tract is like a neighborhood that once was beautiful, but that hasn't been cared for in years. Years have gone by and the houses are now run down and dilapidated. The good families say, let's move to the suburbs. It's a dangerous place in here. So the good citizens and the police who've always protected the streets now have to leave. This allows the drug dealers, the gangs, the criminals to move in. What once was a beautiful community is now infested with rats and termites and garbage. This is what happens when good bacteria is overrun by bad bacteria. You feel horrible. Your immune system gets progressively worse. This out-of-balance system is the perfect environment for those nasty neighbors, parasites, to take over. All the diseases we associate with aging are either initiated or aggravated by this turmoil in your intestinal neighborhood. This 3-part cleanse program successfully flushes out parasites and their multitude of offspring. It removes toxins and bad bacteria. The fiber product I talked about, Life Fiber, with its herbal ingredients, acts as a prebiotic to welcome back the good bacteria to the neighborhood that might have been swept out with the bad bacteria.
You really painted an incredible picture there. If ever I was able to visualize something, it was just now listening to you create that analogy between what's going on in our guts and my neighborhood, because it's incredible when you really put it into that perspective. I think people can begin to visualize just how dangerous this is and why they need to be paying attention to it. Knowing that now, what happens? I mean, people who want to get their neighborhood looking nice again, how is it possible to speed up the repair of this rundown community, so to speak?
Urban renewal. After the 30-day cleanse program is completed, it's really important to immediately begin to use the Unicity Probionic product to increase the good bacteria. Now, I never really appreciated how advanced Unicity's probionic formula is until I got on the phone with Dr. Dan Gubler, Unicity's Director of Research and Development. He said you will see an immediate improvement in your digestive health with this. Now, he explained it to me. The probionic contains 4 strands of live healthy bacteria that enter the digestive system and help balance bacterial populations in the intestinal tract. Probionic is actually a water-soluble, light pink crystalline powder. Now, I didn't take it seriously because I assumed it was like candy that I used to eat as a kid, that sugary powder that came in a straw. That's exactly what this looks like. I didn't give it the respect it deserves. What Dr. Gubler taught me is that this powder is actually microencapsulation. The proprietary technology that protects the live bacteria as it goes through your stomach, which is so acidic with a pH of 2, is actually encapsulated in this powder. An ordinary probiotic would be destroyed by this acid. So this microencapsulation is actually a layer of lipids that protects the healthy bacteria so it can be delivered to the small intestines alive, ensuring that the good bacteria can provide the health benefits we're looking for. It also ensures the life of the healthy bacteria throughout its shelf life. Unicity's Probionic is listed in the physician's desk reference, and it can be used even if you have not done the cleanse program. This supplement is designed for individuals who want to have the healthiest digestive system. We know as we age, our bodies do not produce the same enzymes we did when we were younger. So if you want to have a younger digestive tract or you suffer with symptoms of poor digestive health, such as constipation, diarrhea, bloating, and inflammation, you're going to want to include probiotic in your daily routine. I want to just share a personal story. And I was recently traveling outside the country, eating a lot of unusual food, as I love to do. You know me, I always like to try the most unusual food. And while I was traveling, my entire face broke out. I really was very embarrassed. I had a lot of acne. When I arrived home, I immediately started on the cleanse. And I will tell you that in 1 week, my skin was completely cleared up. So there's something to be said for how quickly this can reverse the issues that you're dealing with. So that's my personal story.
Well, Barbara, I have to say that maybe this isn't one of those conversations that you want to have exactly over dinner, but for sure you have given everyone listening something to think about, something to worry about, and something to do something about. And so I really appreciate you sharing your knowledge. And as always, I'm going to hope for you to return to further educate us on all these topics, because the unique twist and perspective that you bring to it just makes it so easy and interesting to learn about. So thank you very much for sharing your wisdom, and I look forward to our next session.
Thank you, Jan. Good night.
Take care.